Trump indictment. I'm going to bring in former Trump attorney Rudy Giuliani to join me now. And sir, it's good to have you back on. I want to talk a little bit. You. Thank you for that. This is really scary. I read the full indictment earlier today. It's obvious that this is a selective prosecution, and that's blatantly corrupt in nature. These are not charges that they would bring against Hillary, against Biden, but we're past that now. And do you think that we could see a conviction based on what you see in this indictment? Because I think these charges are pretty scary.
I've got to, I'm not going to, I never predict what actually happens in a case. I've learned that you can't tell, but there's a chance this thing gets dismissed.
Okay.
There are a lot of things wrong with it. First of all, if the special counsel, who's really not so special, were to apply his own rule, he would dismiss this. He said we have one set of laws in America, and they apply to everyone. Well, based on the set of laws applied to Hillary Clinton, this case would be laughed out of court. I mean, she destroyed 33,000 emails. She took a hammer, had someone take a hammer to a hard drive.
And that's what
she lied about 18 times.
That's kind of what I started with. It's that obviously this is a selective prosecution, but once you get past that and you're already in court, does that even matter anymore? I mean, you can't say, oh, they didn't charge Hillary for it. Does that matter?
I've been giving it a lot of thought, just talking to some of my lawyer friends. This might be capable of a motion to dismiss based upon a whole history of prosecutorial misconduct, because I don't think you see this indictment just in a vacuum. This is like chapter 5 or 6 of a really vicious novel about how they're trying to frame a man, and they're willing to do anything. I mean, and it begins with Russian collusion and goes through the phony Ukrainian conversation, which was really Biden's. It involves the covering up of the hard drive, which gosh, sounds like a crime to me, really. And now we have this, and we have Bragg to frame us.
Right.
I think you can put that all together and say that these people are engaged in conduct that's so reprehensible. The case has to be dismissed. I can't remember the name of the case, but there's a case opinion written by Justice Jackson in the 1940s, in which the prosecutor acted so improperly, it just threw the case out. This case doesn't belong in a federal court. It does damage to our system of justice. Well, boy, if I ever saw a case that does damage to our system of justice, I mean, this makes us look terrible all around the world. Yeah. This is a silly indictment. This is a negligence case. This reads to me like a complaint in a negligence case.
Well, it's
obscene. A lot of things in it, like for example, they used as a classified disclosure the president showing a reporter or showing part of a document. That's all public. There's nothing secret about that. That was the whole dispute with General Milley about calling up China and warning them if there was going to be an attack on China, for which Milley should have been thrown out of the military immediately, but wasn't. A lot of the stuff here, when you start to look at it, if it is classified, it shouldn't be. So you end up with no harm, no foul. In the case of Biden, he exposed hundreds, if not thousands, of pieces of classified information to the Chinese communists. His documents were sent to Chinatown, to 2 institutions that are funded by China.
Yeah. And
he had a whole bunch of documents sitting right out there. And a guy doing business with the chief spy of China passed it every single day for about 8 months. That was his son, Hunter.
Yeah.
Easily, China could have gotten those documents. There's even a very suspicious message that Hunter sends to his Chinese spy master that looks like a plagiarized intelligence report.
Well, there's no
very close to it. It wouldn't be unusual for a Biden to do that.
Right. There's no question in my mind. There's no question that this is just categorically biased to do this to former President Trump. What they're ignoring, the allegations they're ignoring against former President Biden. But I guess just what is so concerning is the fact that I think once you get to the phase we're at now, I don't know that there's any turning back. That it's almost like does that matter? And that's what I'm concerned about.
But we got
to. I got 10 seconds. Go ahead.
I mean, we also have a prosecutor with a hell of a record. I mean, not too many people have the distinction of a case being thrown out by the Supreme Court because you and your team acted unethically.
Yeah.
I mean, those are pretty serious things that happened in the McDonald case.
Right.
They withheld exculpatory evidence.
Yeah.
Who knows if they're not doing that here too?
Mayor, we got to. It's well said, and I'm glad to hear that. You know, from some legal expertise there. Mayor, thank you so much for taking the time tonight. We do appreciate it.